When the new Craftsman announced over 1,200 tools back in 2018, none of them were Air tools. But that all changed this year, and I've got them all right here, and I'm going to show them to you right now. Hey, what's going on? My name is Chris, and I review tools and gadgets so you can quickly determine whether it's something that you need and ultimately should buy. Now in this video, I'm covering an overview of Craftsman's new pneumatic air tools, and as you can see right here, there's quite a few. So in future videos, I'm going to go through some of these in detail, so be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on those. Now this video is sponsored by Craftsman. I didn't pay for these, but they also did not tell me what to say, so it's all on me. Hopefully you guys like it, and Craftsman likes this video too. So let's first dig into all these different air tools and what they are and what they're for. And then we'll talk about the new air compressors, because I've got a few of those too. And then finally, the accessories. Now before I get started with the tools, it's important to note that all of these I'm about to mention include a 3-year limited warranty from Craftsman and can all operate up to 90 max PSI from your air compressor. Also, none of these tools come with a male quick connect stud to connect to your air hose, so you'll need to purchase one separately if you don't have one already. They also include that in their accessory kit, which I'll show you later. These are their 2 new 1/2-inch drive impact wrenches. The main difference between the two is that one is capable of 400 foot-pounds of torque, while the other is at 750 foot-pounds of torque. The main differences are the 750 is actually lighter than the 400 by more than a pound. The 750 in at about 4.1 pounds, while the 400 is 5.4 pounds. The reason for this is that the 400 has an all-metal construction, while the 750 is a composite, meaning a mix of metal and plastics. So for the extra cost of the 750, you get a much lighter tool that's considerably more powerful. The 400 has a traditional forward and reverse left and right slider action, while the 750 has push buttons on the back. The 400 has 5 speed settings and is also the forward reverse knob, while the 750 has a separate 4-position speed dial on the back, and both have 1 reverse speed. The 750's max RPM is 1000, while the 400's is 700. The 750 also has a noise-reducing muffler, while the 400 does not. Next up, I've got the new 3/8-inch drive ratchet, which has 50 foot-pounds max torque, which is considerably less than the 400 and 750 impact wrenches that I just showed you, but this guy isn't for impact. He's more for gently turning sockets at a slower 180 RPM. The speed is controlled with a hand trigger with the forward and reverse switch up on the head. It is made of composite materials to keep it lightweight at 2.4 pounds. Now let's switch over to the 1/4-inch drive angle die grinder. This 1.4 pound lightweight tool has a max speed of 21,000 RPM, which makes it perfect for quickly removing materials such as rust, paint, what have you from surfaces. What's awesome about this tool is not just its speed and weight, but also its quick change spindle lock. Just press the spindle lock, this button here on the side, to lock the spindle while adjusting the 1/4-inch collet. The included wrench helps secure the accessory, counterclockwise to loosen, clockwise to tighten. To operate, just release the safety lever and then pull the trigger to change the variable speed. Moving on to the 3-inch diameter cutoff tool. Weighing in at 1.9 pounds, it has a max speed of 18,000 RPM and offers both forward and reverse, switchable via the knob on the back. This, along with the metal guard, allows you to control where the sparks fly. It includes one 3-inch cutoff disc, plus a wrench and an Allen wrench so you can replace the disc. Now this tool has a spindle lock, and this is super important to know before operating. It by default comes in the locked position, which means it won't turn. Now before you use the tool, be sure to unlock it first by pushing down on the spindle lock and turning it clockwise. Then push up on the safety lever while you press the trigger. For sanding instead of cutting, Craftsman has a 6-inch dual oscillating sander that spins at a max speed of 10,000 RPM. To swap out the sanding pad, just one is included by the way, just press the spindle lock button and spin the pad in a counterclockwise direction. There's also an air regulating knob on the side to change the speed. When you're ready to sand, just press the trigger, but it's a good idea to start at the lowest speed using that side knob. Now let's talk about the Air Hammer. This 3.5 pound beastie is great for when you want to turn into Demolition Man and break out this handheld wrecking ball to building materials or loosen stubborn bolts. It's a 2.6-inch medium stroke hammer that offers a whopping 2,800 blows per minute. It includes one 5-inch flat chisel and one chisel retainer spring, but there are other attachments available, which I'll show you in a bit. The last tool I have here to show you is the 18-gauge narrow crown stapler. They also make a 16-gauge version that I don't have here, as well as an 18-gauge brad nailer and a framing nailer. I don't have those either. This particular stapler drives staples with a 1/4-inch crown from a 1/2 inch to 1.5 inch in length. It weighs 2.6 pounds, holds up to 100 staples, has a depth adjuster wheel right under the trigger, a low nail indicator window, a handy adjustable belt hook, and is easy to load up staples. Just press the magazine release lever back here, load up your 1/4 inch staples, and get to work. Well, you've got to have an air supply for all those cool new air tools, right? Thankfully, Craftsman's got some options for you. Let me show you what's currently available. Let's start with their newest and largest. This is their 20-gallon vertical air compressor. It operates at 175 PSI max, powered by a 1.8 horsepower oil-free pump. It's got 8-inch rubber wheels, an integrated hook for hanging your hose, weighs 89 pounds, has 2 couplers to connect your air hose, and easy-to-read gauges. Now here's where things get a little interesting, because if the 20-gallon air compressor is just way too much for you, maybe one of these little guys will suffice. Sitting side by side is the 6-gallon Pancake Air Compressor, which I already did a full video on, so please check that out. Next to the newer and smaller 2.5-gallon compressor, which is powered by the Craftsman V20 battery system. The 6-gallon has 2 couplers to connect your air hose, while the 2.5 has just one. The big one weighs 30 pounds, while the smaller one weighs 19.4 pounds, so it's much easier to toss around. The 6-gallon has a max PSI of 150, whereas the 2.5 is just a little less at 125. Now these smaller Pancake air compressors are perfect for small jobs that don't require a whole lot of air. So we're talking finishing nails and staples and not much else. If you're thinking about doing any grinding, sanding, spraying, cutting, big jobs like that, you're going to need the bigger 20-gallon air compressor. Now technically these will work. They have the PSI output. The problem is they don't have the tank capacity for it. So those tools require a whole lot of air. The tank is going to deplete quickly. The pump is going to be running constantly, which is loud. You're going to be plugging your ears the whole time or putting earplugs in or something like that. And if it runs constantly, you also run the risk of that pump burning out. So, you know, just for light jobs, maybe filling up your tires is fine. Sometimes I grab this with the V20 battery in the back, take it over to the car, fill up the tires, but only if they need to be topped off, not if they're completely depleted, because there's not a whole lot of air in here, even for those tires. So light jobs. Now finally, let's talk accessories. I mentioned earlier the Air Tool accessory kit. This 20-piece kit is just a no-brainer addition, if not a requirement, if you just picked up an air compressor and a tool. The main reason is the quick connect stud that you need for the air tools. There's no way to connect your hose without one, so that's a necessary part. Yes, you can always buy that separately, but why not just get the kit? It includes a whole bunch of things that you're going to end up needing anyway, including a hose that's great for these smaller air compressors. The last accessory that I have is for the air hammer, which I showed you earlier. This 5-piece kit has some additional chisels that you might just want to grab. Each one is made of hardened alloy steel. You get 5 different heads for hammering away at tile, mortar, flooring, and for you car guys, helping free up stubborn bolts or separating those corroded parts. Well, there you have it, guys. All of Craftsman's latest air tools. Well, at the time of publishing this video, that is. They're always coming out with new ones, right? So I'd love to hear from you, though. I'd love to hear what you think about this video. I'd love to hear which tool you want to see me go into more detail in the future, talk about its features and put it into action and really go to town on it. So please comment down below and be sure to like this video. And as always, thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.